खण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखात् अमृतं द्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः। योगीन्द्राय नमस्तस्मै शुकाय ब्रह्मरूपिणे संसारसर्पदष्टं यो विष्णुरातं मुमुच्यत। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। श्रीहरे नमः, श्रीहरे नमः, श्रीहरे नमः.
Okay, thank you so much. So Annapurna garu, you have successfully completed Swachha Devalayam program today.
Wonderful. That's good. But the
Nice.
beginning, of course, we could have maybe alerted the priest so that he would have been ready with the keys and opening the doors.
That
So,
seems to be the ongoing issue.
but we had a good lot of things to clean, luckily.
Okay.
At least inside the temple. Outside, we didn't venture at all.
Okay,
Good experience.
very good. So let's make a beginning. So last session we've done until shloka number 17. Premati nirbhinna pulakangoti nirvritaha ananda samplave lino na pashyam ubhayam mune is where we have stopped. And we in fact recited jointly as well. A beautiful shloka which basically conveys the meaning that it is the love which is unequivocal, universal, and unconditional, which is the bhakti that makes us completely kind of absorbed. The entire body is all the organs and the parts of the body are completely kind of in joy, you can say, of the oneness. Ananda samplave linaha, in that blissful state, na apashyam ubhayam mune, I could not see the difference between me and him, as in the Parabrahman and Atma. No, there's no difference between Narayana and myself, the young boy. It was all oneness. So that is where we left last week. Lataji, you asked me to include the meaning as well, but the font size goes smaller. We'll see. So not all of it doesn't get captured. Anyway, is this okay? This font size?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Didrukshustadaham bhuyaha pranidhaya. I think no, sorry. Rupam.
You've only got the translation. What about the singing bit?
Which one?
You've just got the translation. I passed through hills and mountains, but the thing you're speaking, the reading, the singing bit, that's not on the screen.
Yeah, it's text number 18. Rupam.
We are seeing 13 there. 1 3.
Yeah.
So let me, I think it must have not.
You should see 1 8.
A minute. Now it should be 18.
That's perfect.
Rupam bhagavato yattat manakkantam shuchapaham apashyan sahasothaste vaiklavya durmana iva. Rupam bhagavataha yattat manah kantam shuchapaham apashyan sahasa uttasthe vaiklavyat durmana iva. So as usual, we would ideally want to look for the verb. Apashyan is the verb here. Apashyan means have seen. It's a past tense of seeing. Have seen. Has seen.
Without seeing, I think.
Here, yes, so actually both true.
Apashyati.
Apashyan actually should be bahuvachanam of pashyati, which is,
Apashyati.
but yeah, perhaps here it is na pashyan, have not seen. True. So it basically is a negative here. It's rather it's not a past tense. Okay, point taken. So rupam apashyan, not having seen, sahasa, very quickly, uttasthe, got up. But why? That is because rupam, what happened earlier was he was in unison, right? The oneness, he experienced the oneness. Rupam bhagavataha yat tat, whatever that form he has seen earlier before that. Manahkantam shuchapaham. It was also the kind of image of the divine that could erase all the difficulties and impurities in the mind. But that form was only very transitory. But as he hasn't seen that after the transitory moment, sahasa uttasthe, he got up. How vaikalavyat durmana iva. Durmana, a mind which is disturbed, perturbed basically. And just like how when we lose something and our mind is disturbed, we are restless, we walk here and there and we can't sit still. So like that he got up. Now the context, I think Karthik is joining for the first time. So the context is that we are in the story of Narada in Bhagavatam, where Narada is actually describing to Vyasa Maharshi his own story. And as a young boy, Narada, in the previous kalpa, which basically would be, well, it's again a difficult, it's going to take a lot of time. What is a kalpa? Unless you also already have that understanding. So in the previous kalpa, Narada was a young boy and he was bestowed upon the fortune of being able to do tapas and meditate upon Lord Narayana. And while he was doing it, he initially had a glimpse of Narayana, but it immediately went away. And he was really in a restless state after that. But then what did he do? Didrukshustadaham bhuyaha pranidhaya manohridi vikshamaanopi napashyam avitrupta ivaturaha. Didrukshuhu tat aham bhuyaha pranidhaya manah hridi vikshamaanah api na apashyam avitruptaha iva aturaha. Aturaha is one who is anxious. Aturaha iva, just like a person who is anxious. Avitruptaha, I was not satisfied. Avitruptaha, why was I not satisfied? Na apashyam. Here it is unlike the earlier apashyan. It is actually earlier the apashyan was actually not a verb. Now I think of it. It was apashyan as such is a verb if used in plural context. But I think in that case it is what is called a shatru prayoga, which is a present continuous adjective for the boy. But anyway, here it is apashyam. Apashyam, na apashyam. Who has not seen? I have not seen. Who am I? I am the one who is not satisfied. I am the one who is not satisfied. I have not seen. And just like how an anxious person is not satisfied, restless. Okay, we go back a little bit. Didrukshuhu tat aham bhuyaha. In order to, didrukshuhu means an eagerness, in order to see again, in order to experience that form again. Bhuyaha, again. Pranidhaya manaha hridi. Manaha, my mind, pranidhaya, have established where in my heart, hridi. And vikshamanaha api, even after examining, having placed my mind, surrendered my mind into the heart, with the intention, the desire of seeing that form again of Narayana. Vikshamanaha api, even though I was waiting and waiting and waiting, I could not see that form anymore. And that left me not satisfied. Evam yatantam vijane mamaha gocharo giram gambhiras lakshnaya vacha shuchah prashamayan iva. Evam yatantam vijane mam aha agocharaha giram gambhira slakshnaya vacha shuchaha prashamayan iva. There are a few concepts here actually. Evam yatantam vijane. Vijane, janaha, people. Vijane, without people. What place is that? That is the forest he is meditating in. So it's a very quiet, isolated place with no trace of a human. Yatantam, evam yatantam. Me who was making an effort. That me who was making an effort, mam. Mam means to me, me, basically. It's the second case. Mam yatantam, aha. Something spoke. What is it that spoke? Agocharaha. Agocharaha spoke. This is an important concept we need to keep in mind. Why is it an important concept? What is gochara? Something which is materially an information, something to be perceived. What is it that is perceived? Anything that we can see, that we can hear, feel with touch, smell, taste, isn't it? All these are gochara, something which can be experienced by our senses, or in other words, comprehend. We can actually comprehend and make sense with our tools. But this one is incomprehensible. It is not a sound that I would hear. It is not a vision that I can see. It is not something that I can smell, and so on and so forth. So what kind of a sound it is then, or which has spoke? Aha means a spoke naturally. So here we need to understand that if it is agochara, therefore it cannot be perceived by any of the senses. It is transcendental transmission of the message. There was a transcendental nature to this kind of communication. Giram, but we see giram. Gira would be speech. Gambhira slakshnaya vacha. So in a way, it is a speech, but not something coming from a gochara. It is not something which we can actually experience with our limited tools. It is beyond those limited tools. A speech was heard, something was heard, very kind of deep and Lakshna would be, wait a minute, pleasing to hear. Vacha, in that voice or speech. Shuchaha prasamayan iva, having eased off the distress. So earlier we have seen he has seen a glimpse of Narayana. Now is actually hearing the transcendental message. Hantasmin janmani bhavan mamam drashtumiharhati avipakvakashayanam durdarshoham kuyoginam. Hanta asmin janmani bhavan mam drashtum iha arhati avipakva kashayanam durdarshaha aham kuyoginam. Okay, so durdarshaha, not to be seen or not easy to be seen. Who is it? Me. I am not easy to be seen. To whom? Kuyoginam. If it is yoginam, it would be those who are well in their doing well in their practice of reaching out to the divine. When you add ku, it becomes not so good. So kuyoginam, I'm not easy to be seen by those immature practitioners or faulty practitioners of yoga. I am not easily seen. Earlier then, avipakva kashayanam. Pakva means well cooked, for instance, or fully formed or matured. Avipakva, something which is not well cooked or not mature enough. Kashaya, you would know, is usually referred to the taste, kashaya, the bitterness. But here it's in sixth case of those. So of those kuyoginam avipakva kashayanam. So those who are not good in their practice of yoga because of the nature of them being stuck, or it says here tainted by their material kind of material associations. For them, I am not easy to be seen. Now we'll go to the earlier sentence. Hanta, oh my dear. Asmin janmani, in this life. Bhavan, you. Mam, me. If you see here, there is mam in this shloka, and we have seen a mam earlier as well. Anyway, okay, let's not complicate matters. Okay, Hanta asmin janmani, in this life, Bhavan, you, mam drashtum narhati, you are not eligible to see me in this life, oh my dear. Why? He qualifies it in the second line, which I have already explained, because those who are not well versed in the yogic practice, sorry, not easy for me to be seen. Sakrat yaddarshitam rupam etat kamayate nagha matkamashanakais sadhu sarvan munchati hridchayan. Sakrat yad darshitam rupam etat kamayate anagha mat kamaha shanakaihi sadhu sarvan munchati hrit shayan. Sakrit, Asakrit. We have seen Sakrit and Asakrit usage quite a few times in these few chapters. Sakrit means sometimes or once only, it is said here. Asakrit would be constantly. Sakrit, once only. Yat darshitam rupam tat kamaya tava anagha, to you, tava, te, tava, to you. It's not tubhyam, sorry, it will be tubhyam. Tubhyam, to you. Hey Anaga, oh the sinless one. To you for your own desire. Kamaya, for your own desire. Kamaya tubhyam, or the one who is desirous. Kamaya tubhyam. To you, the one who is desirous to see me or to know me. What have I done? Sakrit, once only. Etat yat darshitam rupam etat. I made myself to be revealed in my physical form to you. What do you do now? Mat kamaha, with this desire for me, shanakaihi, with practice or with betterment, I guess, shanakaihi, sadhu, in a noble fashion. Sadhu, one, okay, this is a general statement. Munchati, munchati is the verb. Munchati means let go. Munchati, let go. Who lets go? Sadhu munchati. Sadhu munchati. What does he let go? Sarvan. He lets go of everything. What is that everything? Hrit shayan. That which actually contaminates the heart itself. All those are slowly, they are erased by this sadhu, the noble person, with the single purpose of desire on me, onto me, mat kamaha. For that one reason alone, I have given you a glimpse of my form so that you can hold on to it and practice it. But importantly, two things happened for the young boy. One, he has seen a glimpse, but he may doubt himself. That is the entire problem with this Maya Prapancha, isn't it? And I keep saying, let's say for instance, Lataji or Karthik or Annapurna Garu has a glimpse of Narayana one fine day. Today, tomorrow, for much longer than what this young boy has had. Let us assume you had a very good glimpse and you had a beautiful conversation as well. Then he disappears. And I will bet you the next day you will be wondering, was it me hallucinating? Did it really happen? Or is my mind playing tricks? That is one thing that is going to happen. Second thing that will happen is, even though I had the best of the glimpse, I'm sure it will have some impact. It's not as if it doesn't have an impact. If it doesn't have an impact, there is no reason why he will be seen anyway. So even if you had that glimpse, the Maya Prapancha will once again take you back into your mundane, day-to-day so-called realities. And it fades away, that memory fades away. To the extent that at some point in distant future, you would even wonder, has it really happened? So that is how strong Maya is. Now let us say the young boy had the glimpse. Even if he is going to talk about it to somebody else, they're only going to say, you must have been imagining. You must have forced upon an image in your own mind and you're just making it up. And to him also, he would start wondering, oh, maybe that's true actually. Maybe I was just too eager. Maybe I was actually dozing off and then I was dreaming rather than actually having the vision. And so on and so forth. But then to top it, he also had this transcendental communication. Obviously, there have been two experiences which are transcendental in nature, and that surely gives the confidence that it is a real kind of a experience. So that's the importance of it, in the sense that we need to appreciate that for this very reason, constantly being in touch with Narayana is important. And for that matter, now for instance, Bhagavatam, this is of course in Telugu, and then we have the English Bhagavatam. It is important we read a page a day at least. More than that, I would say. Thankfully, it is a fat, thick book, right? And I would say that you should read it as long as it takes you to almost absorb yourself. And if you keep doing it on a daily basis, that is the way we are going to connect with Narayana. So that is the true application of Bhagavata Purana, the Kalakshepa. Okay?
We should have all these books with us. Definitely, we should have the books.
We
not
should.
not only online.
I would say so. Online is not, online is Maya. This is lesser Maya. This is also
Lesser.
Maya, but this is lesser Maya. Because there is so much of stimulation there online. I get so easily distracted if I see some message here and there. So book otherwise doesn't distract you. You are just completely in that. Satsevaya dirgayapi Satsevaya dirgayapi Jata mayi drudamatihi हित्वा वध्यमिमं लोकं मज्जनतामसि मज्जनताम् ओके सत्सेवया दीर्घयापि जाता मयि दृढा मतिः हित्वा वद्यमिमं लोकं गन्तामज्जनतामसि सत्सेवया अदीर्घया अपि जाता मयि दृढा मतिः हित्वा अवद्यम् इमं लोकं गन्ता मत् जनताम् असि. Okay, so asi would be the verb present. Tvam asi, you are present. Okay. Satsevaya adirgaya. So what he's saying is, he's still communicating. He's basically saying, with your continuous association with Sat being the absolute truth. You can replace Satsevaya by putting Sangaha, Satsangaya, you can say. No, Satsangena. Satsangena, you have association with the truth, the absolute truth. But here it is Seva. Sangam is association. Seva is more than that. It is actively engaging in service. So we shall look at the deliberate usage of Seva here rather than Sangha. Satsangam could be passive. Satseva would be active involvement in doing service. But anyway, Adirgaya, dirga would be long, elongated, prolonged. Adirgaya would be shorter. Adirgaya satsevaya, so not so long, prolonged, yet service association with the absolute truth. Jata, having gone, having attained. Mai, in me. Dridha matihi, you would develop strong, uncontaminated, firm, basically firm, steadfast mind, basically. Dhrida matihi would be sthita prajna, no different to sthita prajna. Sthita matihi, sthira matihi, all these are equivalent words to use. Dridha, dridha means strong, steadfast, matihi, the mind. Prajna, on the other hand, would be intelligence. So when you say sthita prajna, the steadfast intelligence, irrespective of it, your mind will be completely focused upon your engagement with the seva to the absolute truth, but not so long. What will you attain? Hitva avadyam imam lokam. Imam lokam, this world. Avadyam, that's something which can be let go of. Hitva, having let gone, or if that's the English expression, having let gone. Ganta mat janatam asi. You would, it is you, tvam asi, you would basically be coming to become one of my associates. So there's an interesting concept here. We will be seeing what Narayana is going to say is, you will actually, what you will be doing is, you will be assuming my form. But my form is the one which I bestow upon to all my associates. Maybe that's the reason why when Dhruva actually ascends up to Vaikuntha, and when he is received by divine people, let us say divine souls, celestial beings, they all actually look like Vishnu himself, right? So they're almost like replicas. So it is almost to say that you would be in a position to become one like me as my associate. That further description will be given later. Matir mayini baddheyam na vipadyeta karihichit praja sarganirodhetpi srutischamadhanugrahat. Matihi mayi nibaddha iyam na vipadyeta karihichit praja sarga nirodhe api smritihi cha madanugrahat. There is an interesting one here as well. Actually, this is the reason why he actually started the whole description, because Vyasa asked, Narada, you say that you were born in the previous kalpa, but in this kalpa you are Narada. The two kalpas are disconnected. The earlier kalpa obviously had a cycle of creation, sustenance, and destruction or involution. So it's gone into the thin vacuum. Then the entire creation came into force. So how is it possible that you are able to remember what happened in the previous kalpa, was the question Vyasa asked. This is the answer he is basically giving. Matihi mayi nibaddha iyam na vipadyeta karihichit praja sarga nirodhe api smritihi cha mad anugrahat. Matihi mayi. Your mind, earlier sloka was talking about how there will be a steadfast mind. Your mind will be completely in me. Matihi mayi, in me, now that it is nibaddha, having been firmly placed. Iyam matihi, this mind. Na vipadyeta karihichit. Once it is so nicely kind of placed, it will not go away wandering elsewhere. It will not. Added to that, Preja, Sarga. Sarga means creation. Preja, people, humanity, whatnot. Nirodhe, involution, destruction. Api. So creation and involution as well. Smritihi cha mat anugrahat. So vipadyeta na vipadyeta. Smritihi also na vipadyeta. Matihi na vipadyeta. Smritihi also na vipadyeta. It will not go away. So Smriti also will be there thanks to my assurance or my grace. Anugrahana. Thanks to my grace, your memory will not go away. So hence there is a continuity of memory of Narada from the previous kalpa to the present kalpa. Sorry, I have to increase the font size. It's not easy to see. Maybe what you could also do is, if you're on computer, you can open the same website and then scroll up and down to see the meaning. Lataji, can you do that?
I don't know, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, okay.
So what do I go into?
So it's Veda base. Let
No,
me see if I
here.
can. I'll just paste the
I've
link.
got Devanagari verse 6 Cinnamon's translation.
No, wait a minute.
Library.
On the computer, I'll just paste the exact link for you to.
I'm on an iPad, but I guess you can do the same job.
Yeah, sure.
Just say Veda base SB.
I know, but I'll just send the exact link so she goes onto the same page as we are right now. So put it in Soham Vidya group.
Oh, so I don't know how to go on there because my WhatsApp is on my phone. I can actually go on the phone, I guess.
Okay, never mind. Yeah. So essentially, what I'm saying is, you can. I mean, even if you go to the vedabase.io.
Okay, I've got into it. Which one do I go into? I've got
first,
into the
first skanda, 6th chapter.
1.6 point.
Yeah.
What do I type in the search?
You could do that, or yeah, actually in search you
My
need to
screen
go to
shows default view.
Yeah. Maybe next week
I
onwards.
need to put Bhagavad.
Yeah, actually, if you maybe in your iPad next week you could just add your this website on, so it's easy for you to have a look. Anyway, for today, you just carry on with.
What was it? 1.6? Did you say?
1.6.26.
Yeah, but it won't come like that in your link.
You just have to type Veda base space SB 1.6.26. It will come.
Well, I'm in Veda base, and then in the search I typed Bhagavat 1.6, but it
No, on the
nothing came.
home page, I'll show you how it looks. Just give me a minute.
Take another instrument, madam. That will be
Yeah,
better.
I'm doing on my phone separately.
No, I'll show you how it looks if you just type in Veda. Okay, this is how it should look, right?
No, I haven't got anything like that.
Vedabase.io. That's it. Vedabase.io/en.
Okay, I got this page, Bhakti Vedant. The one with all the pictures. I got that page,
Yeah.
right? Now what do I do with this?
The second picture is Srimad Bhagavatam, the one in the blue.
The blue color.
Yeah, and now
So
I
you
go
click
into,
on that,
yeah,
and Canto 1 creation, click on that.
yeah,
Then scroll down to chapter 6.
yep,
Then click on advanced view,
yep.
and that's it. You
It's
should
a
be
conversation between Narad and
yeah.
Vyasa.
Just go all the way down.
26 we are in.
Sorry, what number 26 did you say?
26.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
25
Got it.
actually. 25.
25, okay. Yeah,
एतावदुक्त्वोपर
yes.
उपरराम तन्महत् भूतं नभोलिङ्गम् अलिङ्गमीश्वरम् अहं च तस्मै महतां महीयसे शीर्ष्णावनामं विदधेनुकम्पितः एतावत् उक्त्वा उपरराम तत् महत् भूतं नभोलिङ्गम् अलिङ्गम् ईश्वरम् अहं च तस्मै महतां महीयसे शीर्ष्णा अवनामम् विदधे अनुकम्पितः. Welcome, Karanji. Good to see you.
Thank you. Yeah. It's nice to see you all.
Very good, very good. So, you must be having a good time, but you still managed to join in. That is.
Yeah, no, I'm in Bundi. And I had a lunch with an Indian family. They invited me because they saw me in the temple. And they said, if you are coming to the temple, we have to invite you. It was quite incredible.
Anyway, but you managed to have time for Bhagavatam. That is good. That is what I meant.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Very good, very good. All right, let's carry on. We can find out from you later on about how things are going on there. Yeah.
Okay.
So, etavat uktva upararama tatmahat bhutam nabholingam alingam ishwaram aham cha tasmai mahata mahiyase shishnavanamam vidadhe anukampitaha. So now etavat, having said all this, uktva having said, upararama withdrew. What withdrew? Tat mahat, that consciousness, that conscious state, that universal conscious transcendental Brahman, whatever it was, that was agochara, the one incomprehensible thing that was communicating, it withdrew. But what was it? Bhutam. It was actually form. Now, interestingly, supposed to be agocharam, that's the contradiction now, or we can say the manifest of the unmanifest. So the unmanifest has manifest, therefore was able to kind of experience it, even if it was transcendental. So bhutam nabholingam. So lingam means that which is subtle or subtle body. It is not the gross body. Gross is obviously what the boy was. The boy was in a subtle gross state. But what he heard was a subtle manifest form that spoke to him. But of whose was it? It was actually Alingam Ishwaram. Alingam would be the one which is not manifest, the one which is unmanifest, eternal, unchanging. Ishwaram, that one which is the transcendental Bhagavan. So having withdrawn, having said all this, it withdrew. Now, aham cha tasmai aham vidhade. Vidhade would be the verb here. Let us see what vidhade means. Executed. Okay. Aham vidhade. Aham, what did I execute? Tasmai, to him. Mahiyase, the one who is magnificent. Tasmai mahiyase, to him. Mahatam. Shirshna avanamam. So I bowed, basically with my head I have bowed to salute. Anukampitaha, having been what should I say, being subject to the grace of him, being favored, it says here. Yeah, so essentially I received his grace, and what else do I need is what it means. He has basically shown so much grace on me, and I bowed down to him.
So God was Gocharam and Agocharam.
Agocharam and Gocharam.
Gocharam by sound and
yeah. So you carry on. I'll just get some water.
He could hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could hear him, but he could not see him, I suppose. So it is both the Agocharam and Gocharam. He could hear the God, but he could not, but he could feel him in the heart, this transcendental form of God in the heart, I suppose. Personified by sound,
yes,
but unseen by the eyes.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it's something which we often hear of from various kind of, like for instance, even I mean, across the world, it is not an uncommon expression that it has been heard, the divine message has been heard. Even for that matter, Kamsa also had a Vani, Akashavani. Something spoke to him from the open sky, and so on. So that's not uncommon in a way, but anyway. So here it is basically written very clearly that it was the manifest of the unmanifest which spoke to him and withdrew. Okay. नामान्यनन्तस्य हतत्रपः पठन् गृह्यानि भद्राणि कृतानि च स्मरन् गां पर्यटन् तुष्टमनागतस्पृहः कालं प्रतीक्षन् विमदो विमत्सरः. नामानि अनन्तस्य हतत्रपः पठन् गुह्यानि भद्राणि कृतानि च स्मरन् गां पर्यटन् तुष्टमनाः गतस्पृहः कालं प्रतीक्षन् विमदो विमत्सरः. What else can he do now? He's basically been granted the divine message, and is basically going to be also he will be able to kind of continue to be in service of the divine Almighty. But he still has the body, the physical body, right? What is he going to do now? That is what he is explaining. Anantasya, Ananta is the one who is endless. Anantasya, of that state who is endless, that Narayana, his namani, his names, guhyani. So these are all the adjectives of the same. Bhadrani, Kritani. All these are essentially of his, the endless state of cosmic divine. Those which are confidential, guhyani, bhadrani, which are bhadram means which bring in welfare. Kritani,
Sacred.
Sacred, and Kritani, the pastimes and so on and so forth of Krishna particularly. Smaran, remembering, it's almost like constant remembrance. Hatatrapaha, pathan, pathan means reading always. Okay, recitation, repetition is what has written. Hatatrapaha, being freed from all formalities of the material world. Okay. So what was he doing therefore? He basically continued to spend time reading, reciting, and remembering the Lord's names, which were kind of discrete, many, auspicious. Yeah, auspicious would be the right word for Bhadrani. Auspicious, and his pastimes. Next, what did he do? Gam Paryatan. He kept wandering among the villages. Tushtamanaha Gataspruhaha. He was not really kind of consciously aware of his being anymore. Satisfied, content. Kalam Pratikshan, just waiting for time. What is time here? Death. Ultimately, he's just waiting for death. Vimadaha, Vimatsaraha, without any kind of ill attitudes. Those the enemies, Shatru as we call them, the enemies, Mada, Matsara, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, and so on. So he did not have any anger, jealousy. Mada, Matsara would be, let me just see. What are they? Proud, pride. Mada is pride. Matsara is being envious. Okay, jealousy is Matsara. So without any of those Arishad Varga, any of those 6 enemies, he was happily wandering around, just waiting for his time. Evam Krishnamater Brahman Nasaktasyamalātmanah Kalah Pradhurabhut Kale Tadit Saudamini Yatha. एवं कृष्णमतेः ब्रह्मन् नासक्तस्य अमलात्मनः कालः प्रादुरभूत् काले तडित सौधामिनी यथा. Essentially, he is now saying that time has come, death has arrived. Evam Krishnamatehe, in continuous joy of uttering, chanting, remembering Krishna, basically. Hey Brahman, O Vyasa, na asaktasya amalatmanaha. My mind was so pure, amalam, pure, completely pure. Anasaktamanaha, basically, without any desire for anything else. Kalaha Pradurabhut Kale, with time has come. So with time, death has come. Just like how, and it was visible, just like how in a lightning strikes a building or something like that. I think here it is written as slightly different. Saudamini was written as illuminating, but I think Saudamini would be more like a building. So essentially, when a lightning strikes, whatever it is, essentially what it means is time has come for him to go. He was basically, he's given up his physical body. So that was the end of the boy's life in that previous kalpa. प्रयुज्यमाने मयितां शुद्धां भागवतीं तनुम् आरब्धकर्म निर्वाणो न्यपतत् पंचभौतिकः. Here we are seeing the two things that one is, as mentioned earlier, Vishnu says you'll be granted that body which is of my associate and it looks exactly like me. Prayujyamane mai, in me, the one who has been favored, tam shuddham bhagavatim tanum, that particular pure divine body has been given, essentially in me. I have been given that body. Arabdha karma nirvanaha, what happened thereafter? All those karma, karmic activities, karmic baggage that I was carrying, nyapatat, just like that, fell, dropped. No continuation whatsoever. Panchabhautikaha. So these were what? They were of the material world, created. They belong to the created world. They were not. So Panchabhautika ultimately would be Trigunatmaka, based on the Sattva, Rajas, Tamo gunas. They were of the creative world. So naturally they were all no more relevant, because this form is now Trigunatmaka, and he's kind of moved on from there. Kalpant idamadaya shayane ambasyudanvataha shishayishyoranupranam vivishontaraham vibhoh. Kalpante idam adaya shayane ambasi udanvataha shishayishyoh anupranam Vyavashe antaraha antaha aham vibhoho. Slightly complicated. We will try our best. Kalpante, at the end of that kalpa, what was kalpa again? A cycle of creation, sustenance, and then the complete involution, where no trace of the creation exists. So when you say kalpante, everything got involuted into a dormant state, still state. Imagine the still state to be like a lake or even a pond, where the surface of the water is so still, it's not moving. There are no ripples, nothing like that. But you just drop a tiny little stone, then the ripples start going, right? And that's the level of stillness that we are expecting in between the kalpas. When the creation happens, by the way, so why is that? That still state is when sattva, raja, tamoguna are all dormant, or they are kind of in equal balance, you can say. None of them are triggering off each other. When the creation starts, there is an imbalance of these three. And that imbalance is what is now going to bring in the waves and the ripples, and the creation continues and goes on and on and on and on until again it goes into involution. So this is what is happening again, which is kalpante. At the end, what is happening? Everything is just going back to the source. A source where no creative force is active. It is all dormant. Now this is where we need to understand from our dharmic point of view the explanation for the cosmic creation and so on. Is that, let us say, we are going back into that dormant state. just like how Narada came back, are we all not going to come back again? The answer is yes. We will all come back. But naturally, we won't remember like Narada did. Forget about remembering Kalpa. We don't even remember what happened in the last Janma, last life. We don't remember, right? So, if we have different layas or different kind of these dissolutions, and they typically give examples. Every night when I go into sleep itself is one laya, because until then the entire creation, this entire world, my Zoom class and me seeing Annapurna Garu, Lataji and all, it's happening as manifestation, part of manifestation, that is the day. But when I am sleeping, all this has dissolved, right? Oh, sorry, my hand movements are releasing some balloons. Okay. So when I go into sleep state, it is a still state where I don't exist. But am I not waking up again? I'm waking up to carry on from where I left off before I went to bed. Perhaps that's the easiest way to understand the same that happens for us at every birth and death. Imagine death to be when we are going to sleep, and birth is when we wake up in the morning. We are carrying on from where we left. But in between, we don't recall what has happened much, apart from, of course, even dreams. A lot of times we don't recall what has happened. So it's one easy way to understand. So even that is considered to be a laya. If if you magnify it into various levels, death itself is another laya of the body, and end of kalpa is another laya for us to understand. So what happened? Brahma also, not just us, Brahma, who is the creator of the creation, he also goes into the dormant state. Vibhoho, Vibhuhu. Brahma also goes into the dormant state where the Narayana himself is sleeping. Shayane idam adaya, kalpanti idam adaya, shayane ambasi, in that water. In those waters, Shishaishoho anupranaha pranam, with his breath, the one who is sleeping, with his breath, everything is going back. Brahma has gone back, and so have all those who have been created, they have gone back. I went back, is what the boy is saying, or Narada is saying. Aham. Even I went back. Now they are, the entire creation has come to a standstill. Okay. Now, Sahasrayuga Paryante Uttayedam Sisrushataha Marichimishra Rishayaha Pranebhyoham Cha Jajnire. Then what happened? Sahasrayuga Paryante, Yoga apparently is 4.3 million years. Is it right? I think the number was given here. Yeah, 4.3 million years. One yuga is 4.3 human years. Sahasra is 1000. Now imagine, one day of Brahma is 4.3 million human years into 1000. So Sahasra Yoga Paryante Utthaya idam sisrukshataha. Sisrukshataha, the one desirous of creation again. What happened now? Even in Bhagavad Gita we have Sahasra Yoga Paryantam Aharyat Brahmano Viduhu Ratrim Yoga Sahasrantam Tejo Ratra Vidho Janaha. Even there it's very clearly given. Sahasra yuga paryantam ahaha brahmanaha viduhu. 1000 yugas. 1000 yugas is one day for Brahma. Similarly, 1000 yugas is one day, one night for Brahma. During the day, creation takes place. During the night, it is all in a standstill. So that is what has happened. Now, having slept for all that nice long period, with this intention to create, Sahasra Yuga Paryante, at the end of that 1000 yugas of night, Utthaya, having woken up, Idam Sisrukshataha. Idam actually refers to neuter gender. Sisrukshataha, I would imagine this, so interestingly, it is not a he. It is given as a it. So it is neuter gender. So it was desirous of creation. It was desirous, not he was desirous, not she. It was desirous of creation. From that, what happened? The rishis came out, Rishayaha. Of course, Narada is telling his story, therefore he is specifically talking about rishis. Otherwise, there are so many other things which have come too. Marichi Mishraha, so apparently some names like Marichi and so on. Pranebhyaha, through the breath. Aham cha, I also came along with these rishis. Cha jajnire, okay, appeared. Okay. Sorry, I have a sore throat and I need to keep drinking some water in between. Antarbahishcha lokan strin paryemyaskandita vrataha anugrahan mahavishnoho avighata gatih kvachit. Antarbahishcha lokan trin paryemi askandita vrataha Anugrahat Mahavishnoho Avighata Gatihi Kvachit. Now Narada is in action. He is now Narada. Our Rishi Narada is now in action. Okay. How is he doing it? What is he doing? He's explaining. Now this is very important. Narada can be there anywhere and everywhere. Antaha, inside. Bahihi, outside too. Lokan treen, all the trilokas, all the kind of the lokas of the above, bhumi, and also the other lokas. All the lokas, paryemi, I can just easily kind of travel. Askandita, without any break and barrier. So essentially, Narada has no physical or what should I say, celestial barriers. There are no barriers. He just can transcend, he can enter into any sphere, whether they are manifest gross spheres, gross planes, or they are subtle planes. It doesn't matter. He can actually be everywhere and anywhere. Why? Anugrahat, having been bestowed benevolence. Mahavishnoho, by Vishnu, Mahavishnu. Avighata gatihi kvachit. So Vighata, there is no break basically. Without any restriction, it says. Avighata. So that is why you actually see Narada travel everywhere and anywhere. Now, that said, we should ask a question: is Narada in Kali Yuga? Is Narada going to be there in future? The answer is yes. But in what form does he come? I was actually reading a tiny book in which it's actually in Telugu, and it's written that whenever you actually kind of meditate, think of doing something divine, Narada will come to you. So that will be the importance of understanding how he transcends physical and subtle planes, and he can travel anywhere and everywhere at all times. देवदत्तमिमां वीणां स्वरब्रह्मविभूषितां मोचयित्वा हरिकथां गायमानश्चराम्यहम् देवदत्ताम् इमां वीणां स्वरब्रह्मविभूषितां मोर्चयित्वा हरिकथां गायमानः चरामि अहं चरामि is the verb charami. I keep wandering. Aham charami. Gayamanah aham charami. While singing, I wander around. What am I singing? Harikatam gayamanaha. Me, I, the one who is singing the praise of Hari, Narayana, his songs, his stories, his pastimes. We know that there is a Harikatha tradition. Actually, Karanji, remember you came to Visakhapatnam and we had a Haridasu. Remember Haridasu?
Yeah, I remember the Haridas. Yeah, he was singing big time.
So
Yeah.
Haridasu's tradition is Harikatha. Hari is Narayana, Vishnu. Dasa means servant, the one who serves. Serves as in he is a bhakta, he is a devotee. So therefore he is called Haridasu, Haridasaha. In Telugu it's Haridasu, but otherwise it is Haridasaha. Similarly, we have a tradition called Harikatha. Katha means a story. So we have this tradition even till date where somebody with a very similar looking Veena or Narada also actually holds what are called symbols, I think. So these are wooden things which he keeps tapping, clapping in his hand. And you have seen our Haridasu in Visakhapatnam do the same as well. He was doing the same too. So doing it, they actually sing songs in praise of Vishnu and so on and so forth. The tradition started way back, and Narada was the one who was the original creator of Harikatha. And that tradition has been going on. And what was he doing? He was singing. Morchayitva. Morcha, interesting. I didn't realize the origin of the word morcha. Morcha in medical terminology is associated with fits, seizures. When somebody has a seizure, their body is vibrating. So morcha here is vibration. So morchaitva, he is actually kind of vibrating the strings of his veena. So while he is playing the veena, he is singing Harikatha. And what veena is that? This is the same veena which has the divine sounds of Brahma, decorated with divine sounds of Brahma, and given by the celestial gods. So Devadattam. Oh, Krishna himself has given is what Devadattam here refers to. Anyway. So he has this, and we now know the origins of how the Veena was given and how he has been traveling around the worlds, singing and spreading the word of Bhagavatam.
The name of the Veena is Mahati.
Yeah.
Mahati.
प्रगायतस्ववीर्याणि तीर्थपादः प्रियश्रवाः आहूत इव मे शीघ्रं दर्शनं याति चेतसि प्रगायतः स्ववीर्याणि तीर्थपादः प्रियश्रवाः आहूत इव मे शीघ्रं दर्शनं याति चेतसि. Okay. Pragayataha, having singing this way, Pragayataha, singing this way, Pragayataha, of me, Tirthapadaha, Swaviryani, so singing my own adventures, talking about them, singing Priyashravaha, of course, of the Lord himself, Ahuta iva mama shigram, as if called. Ahuta should be called for, as if called. Ahuta iva, as if called for. Mam shigram darshanam yati chetasi. What happens basically is, whenever he just wants to sing in praise of Lord Narayana, as if he has called him, as if in the sense, just as he calls him, he comes and sits chetasi, in his mind. Darshanam, he gives very quickly, he instantaneously gives him the darshanam in his own mind. And once he sits there naturally, he is singing constantly in praise of him. एतद्ध्यातुरचित्तानां मात्रास्पर्शेच्छया मुहुः भवसिन्धुप्लवो दृष्टो हरिचर्यानुवर्णनम् एतत् ध्यातुः अचित्तानां मात्रास्पर्श इच्छया मुहुः भवसिन्धुप्लवः दृष्टः हरिचर्या अनुवर्णनम्. Here there is a little bit of confusion, because in this words split up, it's been split as etat hi atura chittanam. The meaning completely changes. In other places, it's been given as etat dhyatuhu chittanam, achittanam. Now, the reason being, if it is atura, it is anxious. If it is dhyatuhu, then it would be someone who is meditating. There's a huge difference. Irrespective of everything, we'll look at both the meanings. We have no other choice. Matra sparsha ichchaya muhuhu. Matra would be the material information around us. Sparsha, when I'm seeing something, that is matra sparsha. When I'm touching something, matra sparsha. Ichchaya, with the desire. Muhuhu, again and again. Bhavasindhu plavaha drishtaha. Haricharya anuvarnam. So the second part is easier. We'll do that first. Bhavasindhu would mean Bhavasagara. Our world, material world, is full of distress. That's an ocean. It's an ocean of material distress, material existence. But there is a plavaha, there is a boat that takes you across that ocean. I have seen it. Drishtaha, that has been seen. Now there are two ways to interpret this. I have seen it again and again. Muhuhu. I am witness of it, that it does exist, where it is not difficult to cross that ocean of sorrow with this boat called Haricharya Anuvarnanam. With this constant recitation and constant remembrance of the Lord Almighty, in complete devotion, it is easy to cross this distressing ocean misery of misery, the miserable material world. It is possible, is what he says. Now we'll go to the difficult part. If it is atura chittanam, the anxious mind, of those with the anxious minds, matra sparsha ichchayamuhu, who are wanting to really taste the blissful state, yes, for them there is hope, is what it basically means. Even if those who are extremely kind of in a difficult situation, anxious, worried, even for them, a little bit of desire to taste this, there is hope. The other meaning is etad dhyatuhu achittanam. If it is to be seen as those who are actually meditating upon, and they actually, when they are meditating, what is the reason they want to meditate? They want to also transcend and become one with the Brahman. Even for them, bhakti path, the path of bhakti or devotion, will be able to help cross that ocean easily. And I have seen evidence for that, is what he is saying. Irrespective of what it is, what is established is bhakti is accessible to everyone, and it can actually give hope if only one desires to cross the material distressing world. Yamadibiryogapathaihi kamalobahato muhu mukanda sevaya yattad tatatmadhana shamyate. Okay. Yamadibihi yogapathaihi kamalobahataha muhu mukunda sevaya yattat yadvat tatha tadatma adha na shamyati. This shloka actually refers to those who are practicing yogic path, and therefore the earlier explanation could be in relation to yoga, we don't know. Yamadibihi, you know that in Ashtanga Yoga you have yama, niyama, pranayama and those, so on and so forth. Yoga pathaihi, patha means path. Interesting, isn't it? The word patha in Sanskritam is path in English. Like there are several other words which are common between Sanskrit and English too. Yamadibihi, yoga pathaihi. So what is the reason why somebody does all these yogic practices? They want to gain control on undesirable inner qualities, anxieties, and so on. So kama lobha hataha. So these actually, by practicing these, one can actually cut off, erase those 6 enemies of envy, anger, attachment, greed, and so on and so forth. But Mukunda Sevaya Yatvat, but just like how through the devotion to Krishna, Atma Adhana Shamyati, Atma, self, doesn't come to peace or doesn't actually find the contentment if not for the devotion. So devotional path is still the best. I keep telling you, right? Bhagavatam is the champion of Bhakti Yoga. So you would obviously see it advocating Bhakti path to be the true path, and everything else ultimately works only if you add Bhakti to it. So whether you actually practice Jnana path or Dhyana and so on, various yoga paths, yes, they can help you with overcoming undesirous qualities in you, but you need a dose of bhakti to really be able to bring the difference in your end result. Sarvam tadidamakyatam yat prushtoham tvayanagha janma karma rahasyam me bhavataschatmatoshanam. We are coming to the end of this. So he is basically saying, I have given you, I'm just summarizing now, I have given you all that sarvam tad idam akhyatam. I've basically given you all the explanation that I'm supposed to give because you asked me. I am the one who was asked by you, the one who is sinless, and I have given you janma karma rahasyam, my birth and also my past deeds and so on. That confidential knowledge I have given you. Bhavatascha atmatoshanam, for your own self-satisfaction, I have given you all that information. Suta uvacha evam sambhashya bhagavan narado vasavisutam amantriya veenam ranayan yayau yadruchiko munihi. So having had this conversation, sambhashya, Bhagavan Naradaha, the divine Narada, having had this conversation with or the conversation between Vyasa and him, Amantriya. Amantriya would actually means called for, but I'll see what the meaning here is. Inviting, yes. Veenam Ranayan. So he then thereafter he started playing Veena. While playing Veena, Yayau Yadruchikaha Munihi. Yadruchika would be incidental. Yayau, okay. Yayau is went. Okay, wherever willing, he went. So basically, he left from there. Aho devarshi dhanyoyam yatkirtim shangadanvanaha gayan madhyan idam tantriya ramayatyaturam jagat. Oho, devarshi dhanyaha, that sage Narada is indeed blessed. I am. Yat kirtim shangadhanvanaha. The one who obviously keeps chanting and reciting the glory of the Lord. Gayan, the one who sings. Madhyan I guess would be playing, taking pleasure, okay? Idam tantriya, through that instrument. Ramayati, he actually brings pleasure. He Ramayati aturam jagat. This entire creation is anxious, isn't it? But he Ramayati, he's actually bringing in joy in all the minds of the people who are anxious through various miseries of this worldly existence. So, aren't we therefore aptly called the followers of Narada? Are we or not? Our job is to also do the same, spread the knowledge of the divine, singing, rejoicing, conducting satsanga, going across the world, connecting people with their own native wisdom, and also help all those in distress. Isn't our motto also help, empower, empower and support individuals and families in need. So Aturam Jagat, the ones who are in distress, he is actually there helping them, compassionate approach, through compassionate approach, and reminding them that they are indeed the same amsha, the same speck of the absolute truth, and they just have to realize themselves. Okay, that's the end of this particular chapter, and that also ends Narada's story too.